Hi, I'm your pal Wolflinks, and today we are going to be doing a probably a longer video than usual, and this is going to be about the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and which one do I think is the better console. We're going to decide this on 5 different topics: the controller, the games, like the exclusive games, the design of the console, the third-party support, and what do the third-party games look like, and fifth, and finally, the gimmicks, like, for example, the Kinect or PlayStation Move. You might be saying, this is how Scott the Woz did it, and I'm gonna say, shut up, because it's definitely an original idea. But first, without a ado, this video, features Killinkus in it, and I'm just gonna go and say, can you go subscribe to him? I'll have his channel in my description. But yeah, so let's get started. First, controller. So I think personally, the Xbox 360 controller is more comfortable to hold. Like, it is very, very much more comfortable to hold in your hands, because I find it gets less cramped in it and stuff. But I don't think it looks very good. Like, I don't think the design wise it looks very good. Like, it doesn't look as sleek and classy, and if I saw it on your couch, I would assume your fingernails are full of Cheeto dust. But if I saw a PlayStation 3 controller on your couch, I wouldn't think that. But like with the PlayStation 3 controller, I do find it's a little bit more uncomfortable to hold, and it feels a little more brittle, and like I'm going to snap it. And it also feels a bit more cramped. So, with all that said, I'm probably gonna give this round to the Xbox controller for just being more comfortable. And so let's move on. Exclusive games. Exclusive games. Do I even need to say who wins this? You can probably guess. Let me just say some exclusives on the top of my head of Xbox. Halo 3. Gears of War. Forza Motorsport. Banjo-Kazooie, the nuts and bolts. Probably not a good choice, but it is an exclusive. And yeah, those are all the ones that come to my head when I think of Xbox. Let's think of PlayStation now. Ratchet and Clank, God of War, Resistance, Last of Us, Uncharted, Infamous, Sly Cooper, what else? There's Killzone, there is, Gran Turismo. There's so much exclusives for PlayStation. So I'm going to, like, say, probably without a doubt, that, PlayStation probably wins this one out, compared to Xbox and Microsoft's offerings. Okay, one point to Xbox, 1 point to PlayStation. Third one, third-party game support. Both of these consoles got I thought, a good selection of third-party games overall. Xbox got Call of Duty DLCs first and stuff, and overall, the games tended to run better on Xbox than they did on PlayStation, because it was more prioritized for them. But they could really go either way. If you played one game on the other, you weren't really missing out on any real thing on the other console. So I think I'm just gonna have to end up giving this one to Xbox just because the games ran slightly better. So that's 2 points to Xbox, 1 point to PlayStation. This is the fourth one. Console designs. Okay, I think that overall the PlayStation line of consoles all looked good. The first one was really fat, but it looked nice. The Slim was very nice. And the Super Slim was very cheap. It was very cheap. Um, but with the Xbox, the first one is very iconic, but it didn't work half the time. And the Xbox 360S looked nicer, and it had everything it was like meant to be, and it was like a perfectly functioning console. And then the 360E is just a dumb idea. So with designs, like on designs, not talking about actual hardware, I think I'm gonna give this to PlayStation. But if you also want to count in hardware, like all the accessories given to the Xbox, the PlayStation had that all built in. So again, in a hardware level, I think the PlayStation slightly beats the Xbox out here. So I'm gonna give this point to PlayStation. So currently two for PlayStation, two for the Xbox, and now for the fifth and final option, the gimmicks like the Kinect and the PlayStation Move. And I think out of all of these, the Kinect was the better idea, but the PlayStation Move was more harmless and ended up not really doing much overall, whereas the Kinect kinda what turned Xbox's mission statement into like an all-in-one media box thing, which was the initial thing of the PlayStation 3. Which I find is funny. The Xbox ended up becoming what the PlayStation 3 was meant to be, and the PlayStation 3 ended up becoming what the Xbox 360 was trying to be initially. So they kind of did a flippity flop, and overall, the PlayStation slightly won. Like, not by much. It was like 0.5 million that they sold more than Xbox, I think it was. So it wasn't by much that they sold more than the Xbox, but they did sell more. Meaning that no Xbox console ever has been able to sell more than a PlayStation console, which I find is funny because they've still been championing the Xbox 360. That didn't sell more than the PlayStation. The original console definitely didn't sell more than the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 1 also was a laughing stock because it didn't sell it only sold slightly less than the NES or slightly more, I forgot. And and the Xbox Series X and S have definitely not sold as much. They haven't been selling that much consoles for these newer consoles, and the best selling console still sold less than PlayStation, which I find is funny. But let's move on from here and get on to the next part of this video. Um, in relation to talking about the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, I have Killinkus here to talk about his experiences and opinions on either of these consoles. So, hello, Killinkus.
Hello.
In your experience with either of these consoles, which one do you think is either the best or well, just tell us your opinions and experiences.
So, I have a PS3. I have a PS3, and I've played on multiple Xbox 360s. I know my experience probably isn't enough to get a full image of like how good it is or how bad it is or anything like that, however you want to think about it. But honestly, I prefer the PS3 just because of the exclusives and the like how authentic it feels, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I see what you mean, but for like, what do you mean by authentic? Just
Authentic, like it just, hmm. I like the, I don't know, really. It's just I really like playing it because it brings me kind of back to the, I guess that's authentic probably isn't a very good word for it, but it just brings me back to the older times where the games were actually really good. And like the Xbox 360 games are good, don't get me wrong. It's just like I just like there's like some feeling about the PlayStation games, like especially PS3. They're just so like they just bring you back, I guess. Like
yeah, I can see what you mean because like I've been playing through Uncharted 3 a lot recently, and that game like
mm-hmm.
has a certain PlayStation feel to it that I don't think
Yeah.
other
I
games
think like
have.
it's yeah, if you play like a PlayStation game, it's like this distinct, you can tell it's a PlayStation game. It's like kind of the same with Xbox.
Yeah, because I feel like this is probably a stereotype, but Xbox games mostly just have guns. Like 95% of their like exclusives involve shooting in
Yeah.
some way. Um
No, I
but
get what you mean.
yeah, but I feel like PlayStation exclusives have more like kind of variety but also that kind of theme.
Yeah.
But I also feel like
Yeah.
PlayStation games now look very samey that they
Yeah.
didn't for like the PlayStation 3 era. Like if you look at a
Yeah.
game like Ghost of Tsushima, um, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Last of Us Part 2, like graphically speaking, they all look very similar. Yeah, yeah.
With the Xbox, it's like it's kind of the same. Like you got Halo, and you've got what? Like there is a variety of games on Xbox 360, but there's stuff like Halo, and there's other games, and they all do feel like quite graphic wise. They do all feel kind of similar, but
hmm
whatever. It depends on what you like. You, that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So in relation, like, what do you think about like the controllers, for example? Like, in the my like earlier on in this video, I was talking about how like I thought the Xbox controller was more comfortable, but the PlayStation 3 controller looked a little bit more sleek.
Okay. So with the Xbox controller, it's like I don't know, this is probably me just being picky, or like some other people probably like this or don't like this. It's like asymmetrical, like there's a D pad stuff down like the bottom corner, the buttons are at the top right. But then there's PlayStation where they're like all normally even. And some people like that, some people don't. Like some people like having asymmetrical. I don't know. It
I
depends on
I
what
don't
you like.
really mind like I don't really mind how the controller plays.
Yeah.
I just find
I know.
sometimes that like a
People like that.
I just find sometimes like the PlayStation controller can be a little like cramped for me, but maybe
Yeah.
that's just the specific
Yeah.
controller that I was using. Maybe yeah, but like
Nah, and that.
yeah, but with like for example like the Switch Pro controller, I don't find it as cramped because my fingers aren't in the same. Yeah, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah, because it's everything's really far apart.
Yeah, so I just
It's
don't really find like this is just an example. But I I like the PlayStation controller, but I think the best PlayStation controller is the PlayStation 4 controller though. Like that controller is
yeah,
comfy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just it depends on what you like and stuff like that. Because people have different preferences.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I couldn't get the word. Preferences, and it solely depends on how you want to play the game and how you want it to feel. It's just stuff like
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. So again, thank you for calling. Well, I called you, but thanks
that.
for being in this video and hopefully we can do this some other time.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
see see you on the flip side, I guess. But thanks again for being on this, and if there's anything that you want to say, maybe like to promote your channel or something, it's be the time.
Like, I guess just make sure to subscribe to both of our channels and just have fun watching the video.
Yep. Thank you, and goodbye.
Bye.
And yeah, thank you, Killinkus, for being on this video. And as he said, if you can both please subscribe to both of our channels, that would be a great help. And yeah. So I feel like with all of the options that we've laid throughout this video, I do think PlayStation slightly beats Xbox in what would be the best console, in my opinion. So yeah, we have our winner, the PlayStation 3, which is what I own. I bought a PlayStation 3 for the reasons I said, but I just felt like I needed to make this video just to be like thorough and to also get Killinkus on a video, because we have a channel together and we haven't made a video together, which I just think is ironic. So yeah, but if you guys enjoyed this video, that's amazing, and subscribe, and catch you on the next one. So I'm your powerful wolflings, and goodbye.